Hi, just wanted to spend a few minutes with you today talking about elevating the human spirit. I think we all recognize that there's an awful lot going on in the world that can be rather depressing when you look at the news or start reading some of the statistics on anxiety and depression. We see all the violence, and especially when we look at young people and we see all the stresses that are uh, facing them or that they're taking on themselves without the tools to properly deal with it. And it's not just teenagers don't have the tools, a lot of adults don't have the tools. This is one reason why the life coaching is becoming $1 billion industry, because adults begin to realize that they need help in managing what's going on in their lives, managing the different stresses that they have. It is not getting any easier, right? Lots of times technology itself helps produce more stressors, and we really got to begin to think about how we are going to manage the rapid changes that are coming, because change creates stress. So elevating the human spirit is all part of that. If we elevate the human spirit, then it's that spirit that will begin to manage those stressors. And the foundation, or the key, the most important part of elevating that human spirit is love. So if any of you have been following any of my videos, looking at the writings, my web pages, you know I talk about the mindset of a champion arch, which has a foundation. This arch has a foundation of love. And then its peers are faith and faithfulness. And those support the voussoirs of friendships and family, the relationship voussoirs, the mind-body voussoirs, and the voussoirs are those stones that make up the circular part of the arch. And then the keystone is that keystone of a spirit, which holds it all together and actually brings back this faith and faithfulness and love. It kind of brings it full circle, if you will. So if you know how a keystone works, it's what locks everything in place and applies those forces throughout the entire arch. That's kind of what the keystone of spirit does. And that is what we want elevated. And it begins with this idea of love, because love uplifts. All right? It does elevate. It does not degenerate. So in developing love, developing faith, developing faithfulness, or any of the other characteristics that we're going to end up working on, we're going to apply heat to it, which means we want habit, emotion, attitude training. It's those things that are going to allow us to develop these characteristics and these traits that are going to elevate our spirit. Habit is as a coach, it is the greatest challenge I have in helping you, my client, right, the person who's seeking change, to create the necessary habits in your life. Because within those habits, we're going to have the emotional management skills that will coach you on, will train you in, and the attitude skills, management techniques that will coach you in and train you on. But it's the habits that bring those actively into your life. Right? So I can train you in those emotional management and attitude skills. They can have quite a profound impact on you. Go in, remove obstacles and unconscious obstacles and all this. It can be very profound. But for you to then really become a master of your mindset and elevate that spirit, you need to apply these lessons on a daily basis. That becomes the habit. Right? And that's the most challenging part. Most of you probably experience how hard habits can be. So, elevating the human spirit, we begin with that foundation of love, and we go from there. It's all about building those character traits so that they become that much stronger in you. You probably have all of them in you to a certain degree, and we just want to keep elevating those and bringing those out, because you cannot begin to love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself. So if you think about that, a lot of us are way too negative and way too hard, unloving to ourselves. So we that shines through in how we treat other people. So we got to learn to love ourselves by helping ourselves become more patient, kinder to ourselves, more protective of ourselves, more hopeful, more perseverant, more humble, all those kind of character traits. We got to bring those more into our own life so that we can love others and elevate not only our human spirit, but everybody else's along the way.